Greetings and salutations, Virgo. We're just going to do a quick energy check to see where you are. Hopefully I can get you some good information to help you out through the week. Woo! Stuff's just flying out. Alright, cool. We'll take what flew out. And these three are upside down. We'll take these two. This is the strangest way to pick up cards in a while, but we'll take it. There's a lot of swords here. Okay? The Eight of Swords in the inverse. I have the Nine of Cups upright. And then I have the Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. So let's look at what fell out first. So there is some sort of happiness, or maybe it's not happiness so much as comfort that is found in stopping overthinking a situation, right? So you were previously stuck in your head about a particular situation, and getting out of that and recognizing that you were literally making a mountain out of a molehill, and that you had the power to stop yourself from being in that particular energy, brought you a sense of comfort, a sense of emotional stability, I guess is the feeling that I get from this. Not necessarily joy or happiness, but you were able to regulate your emotions, and that is a comfortable spot for you. However, there's this constant anxiety that you're still dealing with in regards to communication about worst case scenario. Right? So previously you were making a bigger deal out of it than it was. But communicating that to somebody else brings you a certain amount of anxiety. I almost want to say, Virgo, were you manipulating a situation and maybe you were unaware of it? And I say that because some of the biggest manipulators I see in the world are toddlers. We talk about the terrible twos and, children being three-nagers. I love that term. Makes me laugh every time. But we are taught at a very young age to adjust our, I don't even want to say emotional state, adjust our actions in order to get a particular outcome. That's when we learn how to push people's buttons. And then we just keep doing it because we're like, oh, I'm learning something here. I'm learning something here. If I do this, they do that. If I do this, they do that. I'm going to do this to get my way. You know what I mean? So sometimes we get into the habits of doing these particular things all the way into adulthood. Now, I'm not saying you're throwing a temper tantrum or this or that, but sometimes we withdraw our energy in order to get people to chase us. Yeah, that's a very common manipulation tactic that I see people do, and they're very unaware that they're doing it. Sometimes I see people, if they can't get their way with a particular individual, they will then turn around and gossip about the individual that they can't get their way with to try and change the other person's viewpoint of that person. So it's basically a good way to say, well, I don't like the way this person is acting. And then, well, because of this, that, and the other. And then the other person goes, oh, that's terrible. So now it's a self-serving bias. This person, based on what you said, now doesn't like that person for that particular reason or whatever. That's a manipulation tactic that I see people do that they are not even aware of. Okay. So, to go back to these cards specifically, you recognized, okay, that you were doing something. You may have recognized that you were unintentionally manipulating a situation, right? So the anxiety in regards to the communication about the worst case scenario is the process of you wanting to relieve your guilt by having to talk to this person or persons and explain what it was that you did. You didn't intend to manipulate the situation, but you recognize that yes, you actually did. And the apology is the hardest part now. I'm gonna pull one more card, Virgo. Oof. Yeah, see, you didn't intend to manipulate the situation at all, because the second you realized that you were the manipulator in the situation, the second you realized you were bending somebody else's will to yours, you felt, say the emperor, you felt like, how could I not have had control of myself? How could I not have realized I was doing that to somebody? It was like habit. It was out of your control. Literally, the emperor in the inverse. This is the CEO of the deck. This is the guy in control of everything, the king of kings, you know? This is somebody who had no control and just let the circumstances take over. So what I see here is a good moral compass. And what I see here is somebody recognizing a bad habit. What I see here is somebody recognizing that their bad habit hurts somebody that they care about. And in all honesty, the anxiety about the communication of this really, really shows that this has been going on for a long time, because the other person in the situation has no idea that they were being manipulated. And now that you realize it, you're like, oh, so if I tell this person what has been going on, if I explain to them, well, you're in this situation because I did this and I did this and I did this, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize. There's a huge possibility that this friendship, that this business relationship, that this romantic, whatever relationship it is, could be ending. Because the Ten of Swords is about a painful ending. But all endings lead to new beginnings. So it seems to me like you want to salvage this relationship and make amends. But the anxiety comes from the fact that you're not sure how the other person is going to feel when they see what you now see. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next time.